Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be talking about training alone. Many of you guys out there forced to train in home gyms, choose to train in home gyms because you don't like commercial gyms. Whatever the reason, you end up having to train alone. This also can be applicable to people who train in commercial gyms, like kind of people who like to keep themselves to yourself. You don't really have a training partner nor want one, or there's not really anyone in your gym who's really worth including and using as a training partner. So training alone. Basically, the most essential thing to be able to train alone, it requires a very self-critical personality. Like you have to be able to criticize your own training. You have to be able to take a step back and look at yourself and be like, look, this is going right, this is going wrong. But also the ability to question yourself. Like when you train in a group or with a partner, they might turn around and say like, why are you doing that? What's the point? What are you doing that for? You know, what's the end goal? How's that going to help you get to your goal? You need to have the ability to basically do that yourself. You need to like criticize your own programming and ask yourself why you're doing stuff. Also, another problem with it is technique. You need to be really good at criticizing your own technique. And your camera has to kind of become your training partner. Like you've got to film your sets and use that. You've got to kind of like be very self-critical and be able to assess your own technique and see where you're going wrong. Like it's quite hard to be subjective when you're viewing yourself. It's easy to just say, oh, it's alright, it doesn't matter. Whereas a training partner would pull you up on it and say, look, this needs to improve, whatever. There are benefits to training alone. Certain populations, like say like women or younger men, who may be intimidated by training in a gym environment, can find it like very, very much easier to train on your own in like a home gym, for example. Some prominent lifters and coaches recommend training in groups of stronger lifters. So what they say, like, what this does is basically, if you've got a goal in mind, and you're training with a group of stronger lifters, and someone else can do that, it allows you to believe it's more achievable, and it gives you more opportunity to push yourself on. So as before, when you're training on your own, you might get to a certain weight, you might think, that's not doable for me. Whereas if you're in a group of stronger lifters, you're more likely to think, if they can do it, so can I. Also, training with other lifters can provide like added motivation. You keep driving each other on, and also you don't have to necessarily be so self-critical of yourself. You don't have to try and be so subjective, and you can like you can kind of get into your training more rather than having to take a step back and analyze stuff. You've got other people there who may be like more knowledgeable and effective than you, who can analyze it for you and help you out. Training alone, motivation is also a factor. So your motivation, when you train in a group, your motivation can come from bouncing off other people. But when you train alone, all your motivation has to come from inside. This can have two effects. Firstly, the negative effect it can have is like, say when you're having a really bad day, it makes it really, really hard to carry on. It makes it hard to complete your training. Whereas if you're in a group, you're more likely to, like the other lifters are more likely to carry you through a bad session, whereas if you're on your own, you've just got to get yourself through it and just man up and get through it basically. And the second factor is it reduces ego lifting, which is a good thing. So basically, when you're in a group, you're tempted to max out all the time. Whereas if you train on your own, you can step back and focus on gradual progression over a long period of time, rather than trying to beat your peers basically. So it reduces ego lifting. Also, training on your own gives you responsibility for your own performance. Like, that's twofold in the fact that if something goes wrong in your training cycle up to your competition, something messes up, you've got nobody else to blame apart from yourself. It's all on you. However, when things go well, also the credit's all yours. You can't say, no one can turn around and say like your training partners helped you do it, or anyone helped you do it. You've done it all yourself. So you get more satisfaction from it that way. Additionally, gym rules. Most gyms you go to, they've got rules what you can and can't do. No deadlifting, no chalk, all that kind of absolute drivel. And if you train on your own in a home gym, You make the rules yourself. You're not going to get told off for deadlifting. No one's going to like have a go at you or anything. You're not going to have gym staff coming over saying you can't do this, you can't do that. You can just get on with it, keep yourself to yourself, and pretty much just please yourself, really. And that's probably the main benefit of training online. There's drawbacks and benefits of both, but training alone is a perfectly viable option if you haven't got access, if you live like in a remote area and you haven't got access to a training crew or a gym with decent powerlifters and actually got non-stupid rules. So that's all for this video, guys. If you've got any questions, please comment below and I'll be happy to answer. Thanks for watching this video. Please like and subscribe here. Peace out.